right. Let me see what I can share. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so we're just going to go over some examples of what we did last week. Okay. Again, they're letting us know about the active and passive. I do have one correction. Okay. There is a these three dots right here. And this symbol right here, that's the U vowel. Okay. There is, I'm going to make it simple. Plus, I made a little error. Okay. This sound is the oo sound, the 2-O sound. Okay. And that can come from root. Oh, what I put there. Or the sound from foot. See, so this is oo and this is see? So they both, depend on how they're transliterated, but to make it simple, to simplify it for you, so you don't have to keep going like a ooh and a ah, and it's just too much. Understand that this is the U vowel. So you can just continue to say ooh. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Like in rude. Okay. I want to make that clear because right now, and I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm actually studying, I'm studying Latin as well. I'm studying that language, Latin. So they have some similar rules and to it, so we got to be careful, but the oo sound is going to be safe for us. Okay. So let's just say a ah and a oo. Okay. So when you make your sounds for your vowels, a ah and a oo. Okay. This is the ah and that's a oo. Okay. Because if it's too then it would be kind of confusing when you look at this one right here. Mashallah. I mean, you could do it, but the ma'u, you can actually hear it better. So make it the mashu, the mashulak. Okay. Mashulach. Those two dots right there is a quick UH, real quick. Okay. The three dots is your oo sound. Okay. So ani ma shulak. See, ani ma shalak. See, I want to be able to hear it. All right. So they're giving us some examples here. Okay. What do you remember about the two dots that is under the mem? Just so we'll know that we're on the same page. What does that represent? Group number what?
2.
2. And that's a forceful action. Okay. It's intense. Okay. It's intense. Okay. That's not a soft one. It's And even when you say it's kind of, you hear it in your throat. If you just say right now, you could feel it coming off of your throat in a forceful way. It's not smooth. It's not soft. It's kind of forced. Okay. Just like you say the form of the PL, P. You got to tighten your neck up to even say P, or your lips, P. Okay, versus P. Yeah, once you do that, stick your hand underneath your throat right here, or right by underneath your mouth, your jaw. And when you just say, right now when you're talking, you feel your muscles moving all in your fingers or over where your throat is. So just kind of hold it right there with your fingers like this. Okay. And then you're going to be able to say, if you say, it barely moves. It barely moves. That's the it barely moves. Okay. You say you can feel it. You can feel it. You say, you can feel it. You can feel the pressure. Okay. So making sounds is good, but understanding what these actual symbols mean for the intensity. This is the reason why they're giving it intense. Because where are they just coming up? They're just making up 3 dots as a ooh sound. Ooh, ooh. When you say ooh, does it sound like it's a short sound or does it sound like it's long? Ooh.
Long.
It's long. That's why you can make sense of it by saying, oh, that's why they got 3 dots. It's long. Ooh. Okay. Ah is just ah. Okay. Ah. And if you made it real longer, is ah. Okay. So our vowels, after we finish with this book, we're going into more of that. We're going to find out more about these marks. Right now, they're telling us how to place them. They're not telling us how to say them. They're not even telling us what I'm telling you right now about putting your hands and stuff like here. I'm just trying to make sense of it for us. You know, something I don't think I need to wait on. We just be like, because when we get there, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get it now. I understand. Okay. So this forceful, we know the name of the PL group number 2 to make it simple. So that's what it is. So any of these, but also 2, the 2 dots without a mem, it could be another letter. Okay. This is a whole nother thing. This is a command. Why? Because it's forceful. See, so we got to open our mind to that. So let's do this. Let's break it down. Let's start with number 2 right here. Okay. We'll make it a little bit larger for us. I got some questions though. Let me just go back to number 1. Sorry for jumping around. When I say ani, okay, and they say it's masculine. Can ani be feminine?
Yes,
It sure can. So why are they saying that this is masculine right now?
because the verb is feminine. I mean, I'm sorry, the verb is masculine.
Yes, is being done by someone who's masculine. And how, okay, because the verb itself, I don't know if because there's verbs that are feminine and there's verbs that are masculine. But even if the verb is feminine, it can have a masculine ending on it. You know, it can have that ta on the end of it. That's masculine. If it's feminine, it'd be this. Or let me see the 2, it'd be this. So a feminine verb can have a masculine ending on it, a masculine person. Okay. But we know that the verb has to match the person that's doing the action. We know that. Okay. At least the endings of it. So we know that this is masculine because it's a 3-letter root that doesn't have any feminine endings on it, like a hey or a ending in a tav. We know that. Okay. Because generally, if it ends in a feminine, then more than likely you're talking about a feminine person who's doing the action. Does that make sense? So any 3-letter root, okay, verb like shalak that we have right here, by itself, it's perfect. Right by itself, it's perfect. There's nothing added to it or nothing. So automatically it's assumed as a 3-person, 3rd-person masculine singular. Automatically. How many different ways can one do what they call a present tense? How many different ways? 2 or 4?
4.
4. Okay. So the 4 that they're going to teach us is going to be either in this case, it's going to be a masculine way, it's going to be in a feminine way. It's going to be a masculine plural, or it's going to be a a feminine plural. Within each one of these, groups here, these 4 groups, you're going to get, you know, I, right? You, and let me move this out the way. Or he or it, which is the first person, you is the second person, third person is he or it. Same thing is going to apply. It's going to be first person, second person, third person. Plural is going to be first person talking about we, okay? Right? We're going to do like a naknu, or it may be second person, you know, or it's going to be the third person. Plural. And we got the chart that tells us this. So you're absolutely right. There's 4 different ways. So they're still on that when they're going over these examples. So I wanted you to keep that in mind. They're not just arbitrarily choosing ani mashaleach. They're not doing that. Okay. How do we know that it's just not sent off of the 3-letter root? Because that's what it means to send. But it's sent away. What's making it sent away? Because shalak by itself, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the 3 dots.
Well, both at the top and the bottom say sending away. One is sending away, the other one's sent away. So is it the 3? Because we don't have 3 dots on both of them. We just got 3 dots on the second one.
Oh, I
So
thought you said sent.
is these 2 dots right here just telling us that it is a forceful sent away, sending away. Okay. All right. One actively is this top one. This is the active sign, right? This little right here, that's the active. This is the passive. That's why being sent away. This one is actually ing, sending, actively sending away. The other one is being sent away. Means passively. I am being sent away. Example number 2. How do you say she in Hebrew?
He.
Thank you. Easy. Okay. Is there any is, or is this implied?
Implied.
Implied. Thank you. The ing here is represented by what over in this word over here? What letter?
The mem.
Thank you. You see how we're breaking it down? So what is the 3-letter root for devour?
A call.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Is it active or passive?
Active.
Active.
Thank you. It's active. And what sound does active mean? Or how do you make the active sound? Thank you. How do you make a passive sound?
Ooh.
Active. Follow me, everybody. Active. Passive.
Ooh.
Passive.
Ooh.
Active.
Ah.
See? So once you start, when you do this at home and you're going over it, do that to yourself. Say passive, ooh, active, ah. And then all of a sudden now you're going to accept it. So when you hear it, when I say, I'll say something right quick and you let me know what I just said. Mashubar. Shoe bar. Ma, right? Shoe bar. I got a shin. I got a bet. Let's listen for those hard consonants. And I got that. Shabar means to smash. So if I said, ooh, shoe, 3 dots, what am I saying?
Is being.
Yes, is being. Thank you. Is being. So once we start hearing it, it's not just seeing it. Okay. I'm trying to teach us the hearing part that they don't go over, because you can see it. It's plain and simple. You can see that. And it, they have it several times here. Ah, ooh, okay. Well, we know that that mem is that ing. We know this here, 2 dots is your forceful action. We know that this is active. We know that's passive. So all we're going to do now is attach these things to our root. If you understand the vocabulary, you know what the root is. As soon as you see this, you'll be like, I know what that is. And then you're not only know what it looks like, but you're also going to know what it sounds like. Praise Yah. That's not hard, is it? It's just a little practice. Okay. Number 3.
Number 3.
Yes, this right here, number 3. That's a anaknu. Okay. Anaknu is a first person, talking about a group, first person. Okay. Common, plural. Okay. If it was first person, common, singular, what word would it be?
Ani.
Ani. Perfect. Aleph, noon, and a yod. Okay. So only thing you got to remember is like, oh, okay. So that's plural. So I got the nu on the end. It tells me that. But then I got the aleph and the noon right here with a knock, a knock nu versus I need. You got to find ways to make this make sense for you. Okay. The reason why we know it's masculine, Akibe, is why. Why is this a first person common plural masculine? How do we know it's masculine? What's the first thing I can look at to know that it's masculine?
The in.
Thank you. Perfect. What's the 3-letter root?
Mashal.
Shalak.
Shalak. What does
Shalak.
shalak mean? What does shalak mean by itself?
Sin.
To sin.
The sin. Now that I got the shalak on it, right? I'm forcefully sending something. So I'm literally, when you're sending something forcefully, you're like pushing it, you're sending away. Okay, I don't know if you know this, but in the Torah portion, the Most High never said, let my people go. He never said go. He never said bo. He said shalak. And he said it forcefully. Okay? Because I'm not asking you to let anybody go. I'm telling you to send them away forcefully. Okay? That means that they don't want to leave. So you got to force them out of there. Okay? Just a little footnote. Number 4. If I switch this letter right here, this noon, and I made it into a mem, what does the mem mean?
Masculine.
Masculine what?
Oh,
Plural.
Plural.
Common.
They. Yes. Masculine. They. Yes. Is that first person, second person, or third person?
Third person.
third.
Thank you. Third person. They're in a conversation. They will. They're not talking. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you right now. I'm first person. I'm talking to you guys, right? I would call you Kim. Because there's masculinity here. If there's no masculines here, I would say Ken. You see? This means you. Well, I thought that the cough was, yeah, it is a cough. It was the final cough. It would look like that. If it was by itself. If it's not, it looks like this. Okay. So you just look at it and say, okay, who am I talking to? You want to know who you're talking to. These are pieces to your puzzle. Okay. 3-letter root is what?
A call.
Thank you. I just want you to give me the sound of the passive, please. Everybody. Wrong.
What was the question again?
Passive sound.
Oh, who called?
I'm going military style. Ooh, that's all I want to hear. Passive sounds. Ooh. Okay. So here, what would you say just by this 3-letter root with that ooh sound? What is that?
Ooh,
Call.
call.
Okay, so let's get rid of this right here and get rid of the bottom part and say ooh call. What does that
Ooh,
mean?
call.
Yes, who did it? Who's ooh calling?
They,
It's a 3-letter root.
oh, yeah, they mail.
Thank you. No, by itself, third person masculine singular.
Oh,
If there was a they on there, it would probably be with a ooh on the end of it for they. Okay,
Oh.
depending on what you're talking about. Perfect, right? It's been done.
right.
Right now we're talking about ooh call, so we know that passiveness is the same sound in a group number, I think it's group number 1. Okay, so this is still a passive.
He's calling.
Yeah. He's eating, he's devouring,
I'm sorry, eating.
he's devoured. Because there's nothing here, so it's perfect. You understand? I'll do it again. We have to understand this concept, because if we don't understand our 3-letter roots, then you won't understand all this stuff that's being added. All this other stuff right here is being added to our words. If you notice, you already know what a call is. You already know what that is. It's a third person masculine singular. Perfect. Perfect is in the what? Past tense. It's done. If I tell you it's present tense, then I'm looking for the letter what?
Mem.
I'm looking for the mem. I'm looking for the mem if it's present tense. I'm looking for that. Okay. So it's different things that you have to look for, right? So that ooh sound. Give me the active sound, everybody.
Ah.
Ah,
Why is it active? Why did they choose to use ah as active? Think about the earth. What is she called? Ah,
Well,
da, what?
ma.
Adama.
A woman.
There it is.
Female.
That's that ah. And so she's supposed to, the earth is supposed to be active. She's supposed to do something. She's not supposed to, she understands she has to bring forth. Trying to make sense out of it for us. So when we say ah, we know what's going on. Say Torah, active. I say Kokma, which is wisdom, active. Binah, active. That's understanding. See? Ah, it's always active. You got to understand why they're making you say ah. If you don't know why you're saying ah, there's no reason to say it. And have they told us this? No, it's just from me understanding. When you read the Torah, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, that's the reason why. That's the reason why they're saying ah, is because of this. Remember, we try to figure out, so remember you guys have said, well, why are they using a noon? Oh, that's right, they're using a noon because it's what? It's a continuation. It's passive. They use this on a lot of our roots. Something passive. So why is it passive? I gotta go look at the study. Okay, there's a reason. And that's what we're trying to figure out. Right? It's gonna make you so solid. You're gonna be happy. You're gonna thank me later. What does that oath tell us?
That is
Feminine.
third
Yeah,
person.
third person, feminine, plural. Okay, if it was feminine singular, what would be there?
It,
A.
Well, it could be the akala. See, it could be akala if it was singular, okay, but it's feminine. All right, so that's what we've learned. Now here on the bottom, they're giving us the 4 different ways again that I mentioned earlier. Okay, you see this? So these are the things that you and I are going to remember. right? They have all that in common. Well, what do they have in common? What is this group number 2 or this line here, this row right here? What do they have in common?
Aleph.
Aleph and the Tav.
Uh,
They got all that in common. The only thing that throws you off is you see this ah over here for the masculine. You'd be like, wait a minute, I thought that's feminine. For whatever reason, they're calling that a Tav for him and at for her. I haven't figured that one out why yet. It would make sense for them to say her for a ta and him for at. Sounds a little bit more, harder, more masculine. At versus a ta. See? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to, switch the energies up. I know because masculines, and even though we're masculine, we do have a feminine soul, right? A ta. I'll figure this out one day. But what they have is the aleph and the tav in common. All right. What these have in common is the aleph and the noon. See, so you can remember those 4, and then here you just remember how to say at and ata, and then here's atem and aten. Just replacing that with a masculine and replacing that with the feminine. You see, so they're using these letters for reasons. Okay, and then here, all of them got the hey in common. So we should automatically know, if I see an aleph and a noon, I have to remember that would be the first person. That's the first person. That's a common. That's a common. That's a singular. That's a singular. Oh, that's a first person. It's an aleph and a noon. Okay. And that's a common plural, and that's a common plural. Oh, okay. How about the second row? Oh, so this is the second person. Oh, so that'll be second person talking about you in, singular or masculine singular, MS. And then she's a 2MS right here too. FS. She's a FS. And after you go there, you go to the second part. It's still talking about the second person. And that'll be an M plural. And that'll be the second person. This one right here will be a second person feminine plural. So that's the person doing the action. So anytime we're talking about present tense, you're only going to deal with these 4 different ways. You say, well, Dawid, I see 12. I see 12 different ways. Well, you are still talking about a masculine, no matter who you're talking about up here. Either it's first person, second person, third person. They're trying to keep it easy. They didn't say it's 12 different ways, which there are, but there's 4. They just summarize it. Here's feminine. Okay, and those are singulars. Here's masculine plurals, and here's a feminine plural. That's when they're talking about those 4 different ways. So we'll keep it simple. But we understand in each one of these categories, you have 3 ways that could be done. And the easiest way to remember is first person, second person, third person. That's it. Either I'm talking about myself, or I'm talking about to you, I'm talking about him, it, or you plural, or they individual, or they plural. Okay. So you can see that there's nothing but pieces to a puzzle. So your pieces of your puzzle that you're learning about is these 2 things right here. Those are just your new pieces that you're putting, like when you play Monopoly. You know what the pieces are. Once you familiarize yourself with the pieces, you'll be fine. You got to be around it. You got to read it. That's why I say go to the Bible Hub. Right? So we see it all over again. You're going to get this. Okay? You guys are pretty good, so we don't have to worry about that. What about this? Smashing. Anything I see here anywhere? Oh, you might ask, like, I see this type of voweling right here, They give a note on that. Don't worry too much about it. What I want you to focus on is just your pieces to the puzzle. Okay? Just work on your pieces. And so you're going to get that. We don't have to beat a dead horse. So far, these are your present tense table. And anytime you have any questions, go to your tables and you'll see it. You'll be like, okay, I know what that is. It's not a big deal. All right. That's it. So those are the pieces you learn. We're going to deal with groups 3 and 4 coming up, and those are not going to be hard at all. Not at all. They're going to be just as easy. Just so you can remember, I want you to see that this is inverted. So what you got right here is, let's see. What did you do? Put a shoe bar? Okay. Yeah, this is inverted. You see this? What part did I see right there? I think I showed it to you last time. Something else. All right. Group number 2, easy. Not a problem. Now remember, when we're talking about present tense, we're talking about something that's actively as if it's going on right then. Okay, so when you read the information, that's what it's going to be. This is your homework up here. All right. So let's just kind of look at this right quick. Is that active or passive?
Active.
Active.
Okay. Right. If you don't remember what the Hebrew word is, shabar, it means to smash. Okay. So what's going on right here?
Smashing it.
Is smashing. Is smashing.
Yeah, it's smashing. Thank you. Question for you. Out of the 4 different ways that we can do this, is it a third person, or is it a first person, second person, third person?
First person.
First person. No, second person, excuse me.
Okay, so what makes you think it's a second person?
Because it's perfect and it would be a he. That's
Right. So if we're talking about he, you got to remember that a third person in singular will be he or it. The third person. So we're not talking about somebody that's standing like, I'm the first person and you are the second. You is always going to be a second person. This up here would be I or we, and this will be you singular or you plural. Third person is he, it, or she, it. Okay. When you talk about third person plural, you would say they, and you have to identify if it's a, masculine or feminine. Okay. So what you're going to be looking for is you want to find out whether or not this is, a masculine or a feminine, and you want to make sure if it's singular or it's plural. Is it? Don't. So you'll know that it's perfect, right? But right now, we're talking about something that's actively going on because of this letter right here. That changes the game. Even though you can still parse and say, well, these are the 3-letter word, it's root, so I know who we're talking about. So I'm just going to try and teach you how to break stuff down. So this letter right here is saying that it's actively going on. Okay. It's active, meaning it's presently going on as we speak. Everything here is presently going on. Everything. It just determines who's doing it and how it's being done. So just by looking at row number 1, out of all the ones that they have there, out of this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, give me the sound for everything on this row. Is it active sound or a passive sound?
Active.
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 So how do you say that?
Mum.
Munch. Maw.
No, active is
Mum, 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 mum.
Ah,
Ma.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I see. Ma.
it'd be Akil, or it'd be Shah bear, or it'd be, Shah lock. Okay. So is that okay. Let me ask you another question. Is there any femininity in this row?
Yeah.
And how
No.
many are there? How many feminines are in here?
3.
3.
Thank you. There's 3 of them. How many masculines?
3.
3.
How many plurals?
3.
2,
How many
Three.
plurals are in here?
One.
Plural.
All right, so the first thing I want to know, and in that plural that you think it is, do you think it's a masculine or feminine plural?
No
The
plural.
feminine plural, there's one feminine plural that I see.
Okay.
Shalach.
You guys know I love you, right? Yeah, you know I love you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
So what I'm gonna tell you is, I like what Marcia said. She said, no, there isn't. Because there isn't. There is no
Oh.
plural here. Okay. What
Oh.
got you was you thought that this little ending right here was going to be something different, but it's not. The shalak is the 3-letter root. That tav right there tells you it's feminine, but the feminine ending is always going to be plural, is going to be oath. Always. It's never going to change. Oath is always going to be feminine plural. If it's a masculine, it'd have eem. That's it. So if don't have those on the end of it, there's not a plural there. I don't care if it has a tav and it looks like it, is nothing there. The reason why they put that tav there is because when he added something to it, the rule is you got to change the hey from the, from the hey to the tav. And we learned that earlier in our other book. Okay. So you got to remember that. So there is no plural there. Okay. Number 2. Give me the sound of what's on every last one of those words. Give me the passive sound.
O,
Guys are taking too long. It's
Sorry.
ooh. You go, I don't do like our drill sergeant did me. Let's go over it again. Active.
Ooh.
Active.
Ah.
Thank you. Passive.
Ah.
Ooh.
No. Ooh. Them people used to scream at me. I used to be nervous as all get out. But what I'm saying is it made sense. Like, do you get it? Let's go over it. They make us do it over and over, repetition. That's how you got to be with yourself. Because remember, you are Israel, right? So
Yes.
Israel,
And
Israel, no matter if we want to deny it or not, we are kind of like a stiff-necked people. We're hard-hearted. The reason why the Most High talks to us, I know Koti Pam knows this. How does the Most High talk to Israel? What type of way does he talk to us?
yeah, forceful.
BL all the time. He talks to us in a very forceful, and forceful is called intense. There's a reason why the Most High is putting intensity on his talking, because he knows who he's dealing with. You understand? He said when you teach your kids, you think he said when you teach your kids in the call stem?
no,
Huh? When you have children, you can't not talk to them in a simple way. You have to be in several different ways. You have to be in a PL forceful, infinitive absolute. You understand? So nothing for us works this way. Not for us. So, nothing that we're being taught is going to be simple. It's not going to be easy in that sense. Okay. Number 3. How many masculine plurals do I have?
2.
Thank
2,
you. How many feminine plurals?
4.
4. Thank you. You see them? All the oaths on the end. See that? So it doesn't matter what the 3-letter root is, does it? Nah. It doesn't matter. Are all these present tense in line number 3?
yes,
Yes. How do you know that, Bay?
ma'am,
Thank you. Okay, because mem means water, and water is always what?
Oh, active.
Moving.
Flowing.
Active. It's moving. You see? So you see how I'm involving our agricultural terms so we can get it? That they're not telling us this. They don't really, they know, but they're not taking the time They said, well, forget about all that because that's, that's African culture. We don't want to do that. Okay, we want to just make it ours. So let's don't get into that because then you're going to find out that we didn't do that kind of stuff. Okay.
Hmm.
And here are your sentences that you're going to go over. I want you to learn them and learn them well. And then what they do is, if you notice, they actually are going to make the sentence and put the words that we're working with in bold so you can see, okay, what you're looking at. So everything that you see right now with these, these 2 dots and all this kind of stuff, and they're introducing you to the tav can be on front of that, and the noon can be on those 2 dots as well. Okay. So they're just kind of giving us the heads up, but you would know that this is presently happening to a group of people. Okay. You know that this is a 3rd person masculine singular. Okay. That's it. Telling you, man, you guys are gonna be like, whoa, I love this. Okay. The little numbers on the side, get your little notes over here when you do your stuff. And number 4, they're letting you know, hey, number 4 means to inform us. Okay. Which is right here, which is Hori Unu. Okay. We are being informed. All right. And that's pretty much it for your class today. Okay. You guys are going to enjoy that. I enjoyed it when I was doing it. I was like, okay, I get it. This is cool. Nice little refresher. And then here's the answers. Here's all your answers. So you're without excuse. But I want you to always say the ooh and the ah. Don't forget that. All right. And understand it. And don't, the answer sheet is not really a cheat sheet. It's actually it's helping you to understand how to look at things. Okay. Because we haven't been taught how to look at this and how to translate in this way. If you try to skip past the translations, then you're going to kind of cheat yourself. Don't do that. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And then they explain the sentences to you and all that. All right. Any questions? Contributions?
تضارب.
All right. Praise
Is
Yah.
our-
Thank you guys for